Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I am Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Oh, come along. It's the Animal Kwackers Odyssey Part 2. We're looking at a solitary episode from the Animal Kwackers series from ITV, Yorkshire Television. From, I think it's 1975, this one. It's episode 10 of series 1. It's called Sweets. We chose that because sweets are the best.
We should do we discussed doing a deep dive into sweets.
The Sweets Odyssey. Yeah, that could be bigger than pigs. I thought pigs was going to be the biggest thing we'd ever do. Are sweets bigger than pigs? I think they may be.
Do they have a richer history? When you look back in evolution, what came first? Was it sweets or pigs? Because sweets evolved. What was it? Fish evolved into birds, evolved into sweets? I don't know, something like that.
Not sure. I do know that scientists would probably say pigs came first. But it suits their agenda, doesn't it, really?
Some of us have had enough of these scientists with their anti-sweetie agenda.
Well, we'll look into that. We'll do that separately. But we're looking at Animal Kwackers today. And we should probably, look at the actual episode today because we didn't last time.
Didn't we? We were talking about other things.
First of all, intro, whatever you'd call it. Intro section. I've fucking lost the ability to think this morning. It's a very, very... It's sub-rhubarb, I would describe it as.
What, the animation. The animation is really like... It looks like it's been drawn on a scrap of paper.
Yeah. Do you remember it used to be on... Oh, what was it? It wasn't on Tony Hart. That was Screen Test. There used to be a thing called the Young Filmmaker Award of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
And these precocious kids with rich parents who could afford to buy cameras for them, they'd make these rudimentary animations that looked exactly like this.
Yeah.
And one of them would win a fucking prize every year. And, they probably went on to become Aardman Animations, or they'd end up having successful careers in filmmaking.
Yeah, it was well fucking elitist, wasn't it? Screen Test.
Looking back at it now, yeah.
I wouldn't.
The Screen Test quiz element was good. That was the quiz bit was good, but then
but they could only do questions on a very small number of films, most of which had been made by like either the BBC or like the British film. Board.
It's weird. There were only something like 13 films released every year.
Yeah.
So how'd you get a quiz show out of that? Maybe
there are always those films about kids going on a summer holiday and discovering a thief.
That was the thing. That was the Children's Film Foundation.
Yeah, that's it.
Which was, and they used to put those films on BBC on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
And Gary Kemp was inexplicably in lots of them. But they were good. Yeah, they were good films. They're about an hour and 15 minutes long each, and some kids would be like making a den or something in the woods, and they'd find an old man living there or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. There's always some old man living in the woods. But he's never a nonce. In those days, they didn't go on about noncing as much. Now, you'd never make a film about some kids on holiday, and it would terrify not the kids, it would terrify the parents to watch it, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why kids don't go out at all now.
Yeah,
they just stay in on TikToks
everywhere.
So, and it turns out that the story is that Animal Kwackers have come down from outer space.
Yeah. It's the animation is poor, although that's, to me, part of the appeal. The song is a banger. Do you believe in rock and roll? Great opening line. Don't you think it's such a great opening line to a song? Do you believe in rock and roll? Especially one aimed at kids, because it's really putting it out there. It's like, right, I know you're young, but you need to make a decision on this, and you need to make it now. Do you believe in rock and roll, or don't you? If you don't, fuck off. If you do,
this is not for you.
If you do, get on this fucking spaceship, or starship, I believe they call it.
Yeah. It's a great song as well. It feels like it almost could have been a hit.
Yeah,
it feels like something Mott the Hoople did.
Yeah. Do you believe it? It might turn out that David Bowie wrote it. They're going, here we go to Popland, which is where all it turns out that's where everything's set, and their little stories, which we'll get to their stories later. But yeah, it's all set in a place called Popland, which again sounds wonderful.
We see a long shot of their UFO, their flying saucer that they're coming
starship,
down.
Rock and roll starship.
It looks like a massive fucking fag appears out of the bottom of it.
Yeah.
It slowly goes down. But it's not a fag. Because what is it, Sam?
It's a fireman's pole. Our favourite thing. There was one thing guaranteed to excite you when you were a youngster. It was the idea of sliding down a fireman's pole. And don't be crude. We're not talking euphemistically. It really was like it's all you wanted to do. I'm pretty sure we went on a school trip to the fire station.
Yeah.
Is that what you call them? Fire stations? Yeah.
I think they were called fire stations. I think they still exist.
We're recording this quite early, so both of us are not quite able to even grasp basic vocabulary. But I don't think we got to get on it because we were pretty young. The firemen were like, all you're there for. They think, do you want to look at the fire engine and do you want to clamber on the fire engine? And you're like, a bit. But to be honest, you've miscalculated what we as children are interested in here. We're not interested in how you put out fires. We're not interested in like fire safety for sure. That is fucking dull. That's not what we fucking came here for. We came here really for one thing and one thing only. That's to have a go and sliding down that fucking pole we know you've got instead of stairs, right? And that's the only reason any of us will consider maybe one day becoming fire people.
There was an open day at the Sunderland Fire Station about 15 years ago. I took my daughter along and we did the thing of, do you want to go on the fire engine and have a look around? And there's nothing more underwhelming than being on a fire engine compared to what you see from outside. You say, this looks brilliant. I'd love to go on a fire engine. Yeah, because
you think it's like a utility belt where there's all like hidden gadgets, like it's Inspector Gadget's car or a transformer.
It just smells quite bad. And there's no space.
Yeah.
It's just shit.
Yeah. All you want. The only good thing about a fire engine is the hose, but the only good thing about a hose is if you can use it for things that aren't putting out fires, like firing at football hooligans, for instance.
Yeah.
When they take off in the sky and all that stuff. That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
But really, it's about the fireman's pole. I think we've got some firemen listeners. I'd like to know what the justification is in this day and age for a fireman's pole and why it is that only firemen plus the animal Kwackers have them. Because when you were a kid, you would have thought, well, obviously when I'm old and I'm a millionaire, when I'm grown up, which is what we all assumed, right? When I'm a millionaire, I will not have any staircases in any of my properties. I will only have poles.
Yeah. But have you seen that this is a side subject, the latest development, stair lifts are a thing when you get older. You have a stair lift, don't you? You put a stair lift in, get them down the stairs, no problem without falling.
Really thinking of getting one.
I've seen the latest one, actual lift that you can put in your house.
Oh, yeah.
They cut a hole in your living room ceiling and then they fit a lift and you get in it and it takes you up to your upstairs. There's adverts for them and everything.
I feel like you should get one.
Fucking yeah. I'm 51, I'll have one.
Fucking hell, we all want one of those. Yeah, get a lift up, pole down.
Yeah, they don't tell you the price though. On the advert, I reckon it's probably like 19 grand, and you'll need permission from the council or something.
Yeah,
it's a lift though, isn't it?
It's a fucking
lift. And
like
you see, getting the
you know what
the advert, it'll say,
I'd be like, Send us up a cup of
lift
tea.
Installed next week and get a free fireman's pole with it.
It's the sort of thing that you could imagine being at. I mean, unfortunately, Parky's dead now, but it would be a great... He would have been a great person to endorse that, wouldn't he? Do you increasingly struggle getting up the stairs? We have a solution for you. It's called the lift pole technique. I got it in my rig and I've never looked back.
The best adverts like that at the minute are the ones Ian Botham does for Revitalift. This thing that you just put your feet on it and it vibrates and it sends loads of vibrations up through your leg.
Oh, yeah.
And makes your stiff legs work again.
I think Eamon Holmes did some of those as well.
Oh, he did,
I think he was involved in that product endorsement.
Yeah. He was. Botham seems to have taken it over now. Botham dropped a new one about 3 weeks ago. It's really good. But there's one where he meets up with this woman and they go for a walk each day or something and they go to the cafe and he says something like, race you to the cafe. It's so fucking stiff.
You cow. What? Nothing.
And of course, all you can think about is that time he accidentally tweeted a picture of his cock.
Or that his autobiography is called Don't Tell Kath, and Kath is the name of his wife.
Yeah, don't tell Kath. Oh, God, yeah. He doesn't seem like a good man. But,
no, I've always had my strong suspicions about both of
them. But yeah, animal quackers, I suppose we should look at. So yeah, they come down the fireman's pole.
That's the bit,
genius.
When I talk about remembering it when I was a kid, the bits that really stuck in my mind before I revisited it and remembered all the other details were the coming down the fireman's pole. Sorry about that bang. That was something under my foot. Some metal.
Okay.
There's some metal under my foot. And
as long as it's not a repetitive noise, that's fine. Just one-offs are great. Adds character.
It was a clang. A clang sound effect. It was them coming down the fireman's pole. And the bit I always remember, but this is strange revisiting it, is when they go, animal crackers, bungo, Rory, boots and twang. Right? Great. I think that's a great little motif, you might call it, right? But what's weird is they all talk over that bit, so it almost gets stamped on. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
They go, animal crackers, bungo, Rory, boots and twang. And while that's going on, suddenly Rory, who's got a very strange voice, goes, I'm Rory.
Oh, well, announcing their names as
they all introduce themselves while the song's going on. I find that, I don't know if you found that peculiar. I did. There's too much going on at once. Don't talk over the song. Yeah.
Plus, as well, the sound quality of the announcing their names. They've done it so as if they're doing it through radio or something like that from the ship, spaceship. So it just sounds really shit.
Yeah, well, again, as we established on the last episode, they were trying to get every little last ounce of profit out of this production as possible. It was one of those. I'm quite
surprised because it then cuts to them doing their first song, and on the front of the bass drum on the drum kit, it says the Animal Quackers logo's there, but then it says sweets, and there's a picture of some sweets.
Lovely.
So they shouldn't have needed to do that. They didn't need to do that. To spend budget on what the episode's about.
Yeah, I mean, in those days as well, you didn't have domestic printers that could print out large things.
Yeah, it would be a complicated job.
At home. You'd have to send it off to a printer, probably in like Soho or the West End or something like that. If it was made in London, I don't know. It was Yorkshire Television, actually, wasn't it?
That feels like some kind of money siphoning trick, probably by the producers.
Yeah, I know. Some of these producers were.
Now. Jalapeno.
There's two brothers, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was two brothers, and then they were sort of underwritten by M from James Bond.
Yeah. Very peculiar. So
but the good thing about Byrne is he doesn't ask any questions. Listen, the thing about Byrne is if you give him his money as agreed, that's it. He's happy. he doesn't like surprises, and he doesn't ask questions, and that's a good thing. So if there's a corner there to be cut, Burns' attitude is, hey, I see nothing, I know nothing.
What his role really is, every time there's a new Bond film every couple of years and he's doing the press rounds, he does interviews and he drops in a mention of Animal Quack. He tries to drop in a mention. Weirdly, it usually gets cut out of the final interview when it goes to print. But he talks about being M and the new gadgets that Bond's got in this new film. But then at the end, he'll try and engage the interviewer with 10 minutes on Animal Quackers.
I've got a lot of things going on. They might say, what's it been like? This is your 8th Bond movie playing M. How do you feel? Have you really, has the role become sort of second nature to you? Not really, no. I do get asked that question, and, people say you're worried about being typecast, but what a lot of people don't understand is outside of Bond's a small part of my world. I mean, I'll do one of these every couple of years. I've got a whole different life. Probably the biggest thing is obviously the huge monster success of my programme, Animal Quackers, on Yorkshire Television. I mean, M, to me, is almost like a sideline now. I mean, 9 times out of 10, if I get stopped in the street by a fan or a member of the public, a fraggle, a muggle, right, they'll want to talk about, not M, they'll want to talk about Animal Quackers and how we came up with the idea. And they want to know some of there's rumours, all sorts of rumours flying around, like, is it true you hire psychopaths to be inside the musicians' costumes, all this sort of nonsense. And I just laugh. But it's touching to me that's what people mostly know me for.
The little kiddies want to know what Rory's like, whether Boots is a nice man. And I say, they're all great, they're all wonderful, wonderful fellas. But yeah, the M thing, I find it weird you're even asking me about it.
It pays the bills.
I get a nice holiday out of it every couple of years.
That's how I see it. It's like a little bit of bonus walking around money. And we all need a bit of that, don't we? But it's not been life. Some people, they make it their life. Like, Roger Moore. Is he here? No. Not fucking Roger Moore. I mean, Connery, he had a bit of class. But this fella, it's like, you would have thought he was a fucking global superstar. It's like, he plays a star. He plays a spy in these films every couple of years. He makes it his whole fucking life. He doesn't have much else going on. And I just sort of think, why? You should, look at me. I've got my Animal Quackers. I've got other business interests, right? We're looking into a range of merch for Animal Quackers, stuff like that. But he's happy to rest on his laurels. He'll do his film. Then he goes off to Switzerland and skis for a couple of years for the next one. I'd get bored. But I've got a very active brain. I've got an active brain. I need to be thinking. I need to be doing things all the time.
I say the M money is what I call seed capital for the old Animal Quackers enterprise. That's really where it's at.
We're thinking of a theme park next year. Everything being well, the new series 3 gets commissioned. Yeah, we've got this stuff. We're talking to Hamleys about getting a range of them. You can buy them all, fucking glove puppets. I don't know, of all the cunts. I mean, the characters that you can get at Christmas for presents. If that goes well, we're thinking Animal Quackers rock and roll theme park in the shape of the starship we have them on at the beginning. It's all being designed actually by the lad who does the animations for the intro sequence. He's drawn it all up in it, with his felt tips.
That's what it's all done by felt tips. So they do their first song, which is Sugar Sugar, which was a hit for the Archies.
Lovely. Yeah.
Great song. Of course, the Archies, were a cartoon group. They didn't exist in real life.
This is really weird then, isn't it?
Exist.
It's a band of puppets covering a song by a
cartoon.
By a cartoon, fuck's sake.
Yeah. But Twang the Monkey gets to sing this one.
Yeah, they all take it in turns, generally speaking. Like, when I first rewatched these, Rory does come across very much as the leader.
He looks like the leader. I assumed he'd sing all the songs. Yeah,
that's
but
what
he doesn't.
I thought, but he doesn't always. Twang is the guitarist, hence the nickname Twang.
Yeah.
He's a dog, isn't he? No, he's a monkey.
No.
He's a monkey.
Twang's a monkey.
He's a monkey.
Bongo's the dog.
Bongo's the dog. Bongo's
on drums.
I think Twang is my least favourite one.
Right. Just nothing about him really. Just an afterthought, almost.
Well, I think you got...
The Tiger's the best one.
The Tiger's
obviously
the best one by a mile. He's
got the brilliant boots and the eye patch.
Yeah, he's the sex symbol of the band, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very much the John Taylor here.
He's the danger.
He's the John Taylor, and he's the bassist as well, yeah. So he's your main threat, right? Yeah. Then, obviously, the thing about Rory is he's one of the weirdest creatures ever on television. People talk about fucking Nosy Bob and all that, right? But... honestly, this bloke's fucking next level weird, right?
The size of his head is incredible.
Yeah, and the way it's all mutated, and the way his mane is sort of strangely matted, but they don't kind of care. And the way his mouth just he's got that really long chin, and his lower lip just hangs down almost as far as his chest. Everything is so weird. And just the fact that he's fucking blue, there's no explanation for that. The others all conform to the colours of the actual animals they're representing. Not him. Someone's gone...
The blue lion.
Now, we've got all the costumes. We're having a problem sourcing a lion costume. We were thinking, could you make him something like a dolphin or a whale? No, it's a lion. How on earth could you have a dolphin or a whale playing a fucking guitar? It's a fucking lion. Why are you making us... Well, because we've got a fucking cheap whale costume. The reason it's cheap is no one really wants a whale costume. It's like a very unpopular fancy dress costume, to be honest. But we have got it, and it's cheap, and we would be mad not to take it. Well, why can't you fucking just convert it into a lion costume, and we'll call him a blue fucking lion? They're kids anyway, aren't they? What do they don't know the fucking difference. They'll probably think it's funny. So he's a blue lion. He's noteworthy. The drummer Bongo is really good.
Well, the drummer Bongo is just a direct rip off from one of the Banana Splits, to be honest.
Yes, yeah.
I'm surprised there wasn't a lawsuit.
Banana Splits. He's got that awesome sort of like, it's like a tall kind of police star, old-fashioned police helmet with a big fucking star on it.
He's got big massive ears on him.
Yeah,
he's the typical kids' TV dog character.
Yeah, he's
it's classic,
great.
Isn't it? You know, massive floppy ears, big snout on him. He's wearing sunglasses.
But yeah, the sunglasses are nice touch. Twang, he's just not got as much sort of nothing as notable. He's just sort of like, that one's a monkey. Well, what's special? He's just a monkey.
I think Twang is possibly the hippie-ish kind of one of them. He's probably the one that writes the songs. He's got a bit of than the others.
He's got a bit of a sort of a London accent sort of delivery, a little bit like a little bit like they're a bit like the Faces, aren't they? A little bit.
There's always one in a group who's a musician, who's proper into the music, and there's two of them who just want to be pop stars, which is the Tiger and the Lion. And the monkey's kind of the brains behind it almost, but he's not as overt.
Yeah, and the dog's just a fucking drug addict alcoholic.
The dog's Keith Moon. The dog's just Keith Moon.
They've just dragged him along. He doesn't know what the fuck's happening, but he has got this natural fucking rhythm and the ability to keep a beat that is... I've never seen anything like it before.
Away from the drum kit, he is a fucking mess of a man.
You stick him in front of the fucking drum kit and put a couple of sticks in his paws, right? And you watch the cunt go...
He's like a human metronome. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think you're
canine
right
metronome. I do apologise.
He's got a weird hat as well that I'm not keen on.
I know that you were saying that their mouths don't move, but the thing is, their mouths move ever so slightly.
Which almost makes it more shit.
It's more shit, yeah. Either don't make them move or make them move properly.
Yeah.
But like this monkey, he's a Twang. Twang's singing this song and his bottom jaw's just going up and down just ever so. And it's like, ugh. Fucking commit to it, mate. Or don't bother.
Yeah, exactly. Don't insult us.
There's a
nevertheless,
close-up of...
I enjoy this song. It's nice, isn't it?
It's a lovely pop song.
Yeah.
It really is. And they do it well. You get a close-up there at 2 minutes 48, I think it is, of the lion's side on, but it's just from his shoulders down, and you can clearly see that it's a fella in a skin tight costume playing the guitar, and it looks all kinds of wrong.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like
it.
It's like he's got this huge matted mane, but then his body down from that is like a quite tight-fitting body stocking.
Yeah,
and he's very sort of skinny. I don't know. There's something. There's something creepy about it.
We shouldn't be focusing on that. The camera should just be above his shoulders at all times, above the bottom of his mane.
Are you saying you can see the outline of his human penis?
I can't see that because it's quite a degraded kind of copy of the footage.
What are we going to do about the penis situation, particularly on Rory? Because
what if one of these psychopaths gets a hard on halfway through the song?
Because I can fucking tell you, they're prone to it. These psychopaths, they're honestly, it's non-stop. We've got drugs for it to suppress it. But like I say, if it's a long filming schedule and some of their anti-erectile drugs start to wear off, that's it. Bang, stand to attention halfway through fucking sugar.
Some of them fucking properly get off on being dressed up in a skin-tight lion costume. That's why they're in fucking Broadmoor.
That's right, and that's it. We hire them because they're in Broadmoor, but they're in Broadmoor for the exact reason why we shouldn't hire them. That's the situation we found ourselves in. But money talks, and at the end of the day, you don't get better value for money than psychopaths out of Broadmoor. So if one of them gets an erection, if one of them goes off in his fucking body stocking, then that's just something. That's TV. You know what I say? That's TV. That's TV. TV is about challenges. It's non-stop challenges. How are you going to face them? A psychopath has ejaculated in his blue lion body stocking. Right, what are we going to do? Call the producer. Call the costume lady. Get the runner to run out and get some wet wipes.
What we have to do is we have to have fixed cameras on each of the cunts at all times, but just the faces. So then if one of them does start wanking off, we can edit, cut to the headshot, and then they can just carry on doing that and we won't have to worry about it. We'll fix it in the edit.
Bernard Lee, M from James Bond, I remember he did an interview with Looking magazine, and but it was supposed to be about Bond, but he insisted with his press people that at least 2 questions at the end of the interview always had to be about Animal Kwackers. And he was asked, is there any fun behind the scenes gossip or insider secrets you can tell us about making Animal Kwackers? And he said, yes, at least one of the Animal Kwackers always begins to masturbate during every single performance we have. Brackets, usually Rory, but not always Rory.
Almost always Rory. But sometimes he sets the others off and they all do it.
And I can tell you it's fucking mayhem until we shoot them with their tranquilizer darts and give them their instruments back, and then we can get back to it.
There's actually a lost episode of Animal Kwackers that we had to abandon. The subject was nurses.
Which, when we were writing the episode, we thought was a cracking idea. But, I suppose hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Hindsight's a wonderful thing. And everyone now is like, what were you thinking doing an episode on nurses?
Spots, don't you?
With a cast made up of highly sexualised psychopaths. But, yeah.
We'll stop there because they've done Sugar, and we're about to get to the bit Rory, tell us a story. And Rory is indeed going to tell a story about Ice Cream Mountain.
It's a fucking remarkable story coming up. So definitely make sure you tune into the next episode.
I think it needs an episode all of its own.
Yeah.
Especially the what can you call it? The negative character.
Yeah.
In the story. We'll say what his name is. His name is Bad Boy.
Bad Boy! And by the way, this would have been made long before hip-hop was even starting in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the Bronx, there wasn't even the first inklings of hip-hop when this was made, and yet they'd already come up with a local bad lad called Bad Boy.
Bad Boy.
What should we call the character who's naughty? I don't know. Call him Bad... Naughty Steve?
Just put Bad Boy for now. We'll change it later.
Yeah.
And then it's stuck.
Just not. People seem to like
we
it.
forgot to change it.
People like simplicity.
So yeah, the Adventures of Bad Boy next time. Join us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.